Tattletail and Mom. Tattletail, Waygetter Electronics. First toy in Waygetter Electronics, Tattletail line. Mama sat on the shelves in the 90s until the incident happening to one tragic Christmas morning with one of those pseudo-maternal death traps. Something about a child's eye being gnawed out of the skull. Poor kid couldn't unclamp the fucker's jaws. Thankfully, they're now off the shelves. Good riddance, never liked them anyway. However, Waygetter did end up releasing the Tattletail shortly after the Mama recall. How they were able to cover up the attention of the Mama case with that is beyond me. Those little shits have done them even more lucrative wonders than the Mamas did. Apparently they're safer than the Mamas. They're too annoying for me to give them the benefit of the doubt. For info, please find the grade B archives folder. Okay. Amy Martin and Michael Davies are antagonists in the Fate series. Amy was possessed by a demon after going to a clinic, and after a failed exorcism from John Ward, she escaped and became part of a dark ritual called the Second Death. Now all Amy's possession has done is be a reminder to John of how he failed, and that she haunts his dreams. Michael Davies, also known as the Chupacabra, was a teenager who became a thin, pale creature after being possessed by an unnamed demon being trapped in a basement for 3 months. During an exorcism attempt, he broke free and fled, destroying anything in his path. Michael harbors a deep hatred for anyone dressed like a priest because of his captor, Father Garcia, who resembled him. Matsu. The dream world is extremely vague. It is the other world you can explore in New York. It's a very simple place where you collect eggs that spawn in these different dimensions. The story behind the dream world is extremely vague. There's something not quite right about this world. But it makes that much more interesting. The main people are encountered in this world are Monoko, Rico, and Ubora. Little is known about any of them, but we're still looking for more clues. So I'm guessing the first three mentioned are those girls that Metsuki befriended, and then the last one was that pale guy who told us to leave. No information on this little fellow though. I'm guessing he's Nazu. The Hound of Langford, duck season. Langford's summer killer of '88. Although his killings only lasted that summer, his legacy has lived on for decades. He was known to wear a mascot costume based on that dog from Duck Hunt. His preferred method was the classic old knife like a true slasher villain in the flesh. Despite the surveillance of footage of his killings being available to the public, technically at least you can search deep enough into the archives, they still couldn't salvage enough evidence of the guy or girl no hate to ever uncover their identity, let alone their traces. No one knows where they went, who they were, and if they're even still alive. Were they from out of town? Were they a resident of Langford? Guess we'll never know. For information, please find the Grade B archives folder. Is it an actual folder I can find? The Smile Dogs. Husky, Demon, and Dragon, the chat room evils, who came into existence just half a year ago, although we may be powerless to these three entities we have at least been studying them for a best capacity though. Although we can only do so much considering we're not exactly the CIA or anything, we're college students, we have bills to pay. All three simply demand the victims that they spread the word by sending their respective image to emails or chat rooms, lest they be killed. Each evil has a different style of killing. Interestingly enough, from Husky freezing its victims alive, Demon burning its victims alive, and Dragon driving its victims into suicide. No question that these things are to be feared and treated with caution. If you still want to use any chat rooms, proceed with them with damn caution, please. Only spread the word to those that you trust will comply. Do not spread anything to people who refuse to continue the cycle. You will kill them. Blood will be on your hands, trust me for more info. Again, Grade B archives. All those are our anomalies now. Let's see our contestants. David from Duck Season. David is a 14-year-old boy from the game Duck Season. He's an average kid who loves video games, spending his free time glued to his TV. One summer day, his mom brings home a rental called Duck Season, a seemingly innocent hunting game. As David delves deeper into the game, he begins to notice something off about the virtual hunting dog. The dog, initially a cheerful companion, starts exhibiting strange and menacing behavior until it starts to become more dangerous and a very real threat. David's once fun-filled days take a dark turn as he uncovers the sinister secrets lurking within Duck Season, pulling him into a terrifying adventure where his survival instincts are put to the test. Metsuki. Metsuki is the protagonist of the very weird and interesting game Human Miniki. As a reclusive young girl, she spends her days to herself in her small apartment, but her nights are filled with strange and vivid dreams. Through her dreams, Metsuki enters the dream world. She explores bizarre and often unsettling landscapes, each filled with cryptic symbols, messages, and mysterious creatures. We don't know where it is, how she can travel here, or where it came from. But being that she is silent and always by herself, we do know her only interactions come through her dream world, where she encounters strange beings and collects various effects that alter her appearance and abilities. Her journeys are both a quest for understanding and an escape from the confines of her waking life. Metsuki's dream explorations reveal a deeply symbolic narrative hinting at hidden traumas and emotions. She's a vessel for the player's imagination, offering a unique and immersive experience for every player in the enigmatic universe of Yuminiki. Sarah Taylor, Little Rock, Arkansas, is a 23-year-old college student with an insane curiosity for the unknown. During the day, she's diligently working towards her degree at university, but at night, she turns into an urban legend hunter. Sarah's fascination with the eerie and unexplained has led her to chase stories like Smile Dog, haunted game cartridges, and other creepy tales that lurk in the darkest corners of the internet. Armed with her trusty camera, her computer, and a notebook filled with ponies, Sarah ventures into the abandoned buildings, old shops, dense forests, and forgotten alleyways, always on the lookout for her next paranormal encounter. Her dedication to uncovering the truth behind these legends has earned her a reputation among fellow enthusiasts, who eagerly follow her blog and social media for updates on her latest adventures. Despite the occasional scare, Sarah thrives on the adrenaline and the thrill of the hunt. Her passion for urban legends is more than just a hobby. It's a way of life that keeps her constantly exploring the thin line between reality and the supernatural. Who knows what she might find in Adventure Isle Park. John Ward and Father Garcia. On the night of September 21st, 1986, two priests entered a lonely house in the heart of a sprawling forest in Sterling, Connecticut. Their goal? Exorcise the demons inside Amy Martin. John Ward's life was full of trouble from the beginning. Born in the 1950s, he was raised as a devout Christian, and at a young age his parents both mysteriously disappeared. After going through foster care services, John ended up in an orphanage inside the Snake Meadow Hill Church. It was in that orphanage that he met his wife, Lisa Pearson, and got kidnapped by one of the orphanage's caretakers. Throughout all of the trials of his childhood, one powerful thing kept him going: his faith in God. In his 30s, John lived a remarkably normal life, serving as a Catholic priest under the Vatican. Although he made quick friends with Lisa, his childhood trauma led to his adult life being largely secluded. All of this would change when Father Allred, a professional exorcist, requested his assistance in the exorcism of Amy Martin. Unfortunately, the exorcism failed. Father Allred and the entire Martin family were killed by the demon possessing Amy, and John, overwhelmed and petrified, selfishly strikes a deal with a mysterious, unholy figure. He would leave the Martins' house alive, but Amy would forever be a vessel for unspeakable forces. Almost 1 year later, John, now settled down and living peacefully with his wife Molly, would be subject to her harrowing nightmare, which Amy begged for him to return and finish the job he had failed to complete. He once again donned his priest outfit and collar, and drove to the Martins' dilapidated house in the woods. The events that would occur over the next month would push John's faith to its limits, but in the end, he's completed the exorcism and rid Connecticut of the demonic forces that so pervasively stood against him. It's often said that God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. John was certainly one of his best. Lastly, Ruby. You would think that being an only child, 12-year-old Ruby lived a lonely life, but you would be wrong. Ruby always had an affinity for toys, and strangely, you seem to be naturally drawn to her. Her favorite toy of all, however, was the one thing she's the only one she didn't have: a baby talking Tattletail. All the kids at school had one, and she was the only outlier. But on Christmas Day, all of that would change, or would have if impatient Ruby hadn't opened her gift 5 days early. Never open your Christmas presents early, kids. What a joke.